Okay, Hare Krishna. So actually today's class, uh, another devotee was supposed to give, and I was waiting for him to give response back, but I couldn't get the response. So at the last moment, I had to give this class. So this particular class and realization which I'm going to share today by the extreme callous mercy of Guru Maharaj is based upon our leaders program, which was I prepared something on Wednesday. So I could, can then give that realization here now. Right. So, Krishna, when you're ready, if you can show the first verse, please. I had a quick question before we do this. We are a preaching movement, and by studying Bhagavad Gita, we want to change the world. Is it right? And by preaching Bhagavad Gita, we want to change the world. Is it right? What do you all think? Yes or no? Just speak out clearly, loudly, so we can hear. So what we're doing is we are preaching movement. By studying the Bhagavad Gita, you want to change the world. Is it right? Or is it wrong?
I think we have to first change ourselves and then.
Yes. So are we changing the world? We are preaching the Bhagavad Gita to the world.
I think you always said, Prabhuji, I think even if we preach, that is our for own purification.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
But anybody else? Sorry.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Very much. Anyone else, please? Yes, anyone else, please? No, others are not speaking. You want me to call you individually or what? Come on.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah, my answer is the same, Prabhuji, that yes, the preaching is for our purification. And
So
if anybody
we should be preaching or not? Should we be preaching or not?
Yes, Prabhuji. You should be preaching. You want to get purified.
So by studying the Bhagavad Gita, you want to change the world. Is it right or wrong?
It's
by studying the Bhagavad
we
Gita,
can't change.
You want to change the world.
Prabhuji. We can't change
right
others.
Or is it wrong?
It's
right
wrong,
or wrong?
Prabhuji.
It's wrong. By
Yeah.
studying Bhagavad Gita, you don't want to change the world.
I want for my wanting, Prabhuji, nobody will change.
Give me one answer. By studying Bhagavad Gita, you want to change the world. Is it right or is it wrong?
It's no straight answer, Prabhuji, for it.
Do you think dealing with me is straightforward or what? You know?
No.
Do you think I'll
No.
ask a question which is so simple or what? You know? So tell me, by studying Bhagavad Gita, do you want to change the world? Is it right or is it wrong?
It's an argument for both sides, Prabhuji. So I will go
Give me
for
one
no.
answer.
No.
No. You don't want to change the world.
I want to change the world, but I want to be the change.
There's no but. No, that's so. Answer is yes or no, right or wrong. Do you want to change by studying Bhagavad Gita? You want to change the world? Yes or no? Right or wrong? Is it right or it is wrong?
I think it's right, Prabhuji. Prabhupada always says that you first study Bhagavad Gita and you know.
So right. So your answer is right.
Right, yeah.
Okay, thank you. What about you, Sanjeev Prabhu? What is your answer?
My answer is still the same, Prabhuji, that we can't change anybody unless you are you're
So is
doing
it
the
right or
change
wrong?
yourself.
Is it right? Is it wrong?
Wrong.
This statement is right or is it wrong? It's
Wrong,
wrong.
Prabhuji.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Very good. Now we got an answer out of you. It took me so long, man. I hope others don't do this way. It'll take me the whole 2 hours. Well done. Haribol. Okay, others, please jump in. The question
Hare
is, by
Krishna,
studying the Bhagavad Gita, you want to change the world. Is it right? Is it wrong?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Haribol.
Prabhu, right, Prabhu.
Right? You change the world.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You all have to show your faces all the time with me, please. You can't be sleeping when I'm talking, you know. I don't know, whatever you do, I have to show your face. What others, please? Now everybody's hiding now. I don't want to give this answer. Oh my God, what is this? Okay, then I'll ask you individually. Please don't make me ask you individually, okay?
Can I answer, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Yes, preaching is a service, Prabhu. We do it to for please Krishna, so it is for ourselves, not for anybody else.
So by studying the Bhagavad Gita,
It's
you
only
want to
for us.
change the world. You
No,
want
no,
to
we
change the
can't.
world. Is it right?
No.
Is it wrong?
No, we don't change the world. It's wrong. It's changing
It is
ourselves.
wrong. Okay, thank you. We got 2 yes, 2 right, 2 wrong for so far. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hari Bol.
Bro, my answer is yes.
Yes. Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Others, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hari Bol.
Prabhu, my answer is no.
No.
Should change ourselves.
So yes, by studying the Bhagavad Gita, you don't want to change the world.
First, we have to change ourselves.
No, I'm
Then
not
our
asking.
surroundings.
I'm not asking first or second. I'm asking you a simple question. By studying Bhagavad Gita, you want to change the world. Is a statement. Is a statement right or a statement is wrong?
No, Prabhuji. It's wrong.
It is a wrong statement. So you are not interested in changing the world. Okay, no problem. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for your answer. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Yes.
Prabhu.
Yes, Hari Bol Mata. Now everybody is coming now. Very good. Now people have got some
Prabhuji,
confidence.
yes, my answer is that it is right.
It is right. By
Yes.
studying the Bhagavad Gita, you want to change the world. It is right. Okay. Thank you very much, Mother. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I think it is
Yes,
right,
Mother.
like by studying Bhagavad Gita, we change ourselves and then,
No, again,
you know,
that's not my question. I'm not asking, I'm asking, my question is different. First is a statement. The statement is, by studying Bhagavad Gita, you want to change the world. Full stop. Is this right?
yes,
Is it wrong?
I think it is right. Prabhu.
Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. It's a two-way sword, you know. Narava Kunjuva. But doesn't work with that in material world, you know. Material world is black and white. Yes, others, please. We all done? See, if I ask you, then I'll debit demerit points again. No? I'll give you less points less. Who's remaining then? Come forward now with the answer.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It's for ourselves.
Why not showing your face?
Prabhuji, just having a little bit something connection issue. I'm trying
Okay.
to.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right. That's fine. That's fine. So what is the answer, mother?
We study Bhagavad Gita for ourselves.
So by studying Bhagavad Gita, you want to change the world. Full stop. Is it right or wrong?
Wrong, Prabhuji.
Wrong. So you don't want to change the world. Yeah, correct. Just don't stand by your answer. Wrong.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Are we all done? All finished?
Prabhuji, my Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, my answer is yes.
Is right.
We
The
can
statement is
change
right.
the world.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'll wait for 10 more seconds for us to come in, please. That's why you will lose your opportunity to have your 2 cents worth with your answer. Okay. Hare Krishna. All right.
Hare
Now,
Krishna,
as I said, sorry, someone jumping in now. 10 seconds are over now. Mother, you'll get 1 demoted point. Okay, please continue.
Sorry, Prabhu, my connection was little haphazard. Now
No,
it
no,
got settled.
I'm just joking with you. Please continue. We want to
Yeah,
hear your
yes.
answer.
My answer is no, Prabhu.
No. So by studying the Bhagavad Gita, you want to change the world. The statement, it is not right. It is a wrong statement.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, it is a wrong statement, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you very much. All right. Okay, you triggered 1 more 10 seconds for everybody. We'll wait for 10 more seconds for others, anyone else to join in, to give their answers. Okay, there you go. Let's move on. So, by studying the Bhagavad Gita, if you want to change the world, is it right? Is it wrong? The Bhagavad Gita is not to be taught to others. It is not to be taught to others. Okay. Good. I like to see everyone's faces, that's very good. I'm more of a face-to-face person, Even in my sales career, I was people used to be scared of, face-to-face selling, and I was very good at it, I could do with the whole trick and jumbling and all this word drama and all. So the Bhagavad Gita is not to be taught to others. Actually, the message of Bhagavad Gita is to be implemented in one's own life for one's betterment. And we can teach the world by our behavior, which should be according to the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, of Lord Krishna and the Bhagavad Gita. See? This is an important thing to be understood. Don't be eager to change the world. Be eager to change yourself. This is our punchline. Will you have to repeat, please? After me. Somebody, Padmini Prabhu, you are very bold. Let's hear. You will repeat. Very good. Say, don't be eager to change the world. Be eager to change yourself.
Don't be eager to change the world. Be eager to change yourself.
Yes, very nice. Who else will be bold like him to say this? With me, all are bold, Come on, come on. You can't stand with me otherwise.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, please.
Don't be eager to change the world. Be eager to change yourself.
Yes, wonderful. Wonderful. We'll take two more now before we move forward. Who would be the one to say this? Unless you disagree. If you don't say it, it means you disagree. I don't agree with this. Yeah, we'll talk about it. I'll prove it to you. Come on. Two more chances. Don't make me ask you. Because you all are biggie billies, you know. You are not tigers.
Don't be eager to change the world. Be eager to change yourself.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Very nice. And one last one. Who would like to go the last one?
Don't be eager to change the world, be eager to change yourself.
Yes, this is the hardest thing, the bitter pill to swallow, you know. We remember this, when we had met in Mumbai, this is the same thing I had said. Don't try to change your parents or your relatives to become Krishna conscious. No, because you become Krishna conscious suddenly, you know. You'll make them change their ways. Don't do all those things. You be ideal. So they will change. Or they'll appreciate. Good. Let them be, you know. And I'm still struggling with so many of my friends and relatives. You will not believe it. So many of my friends and relatives. Now they are so far, now they understand he's not going to change. So it's all right. We have to accept him now, you know, as he is. So I've got first-hand experience. Not how to change the world. Be the change, you know. Be eager to change yourself. This, at least, you see, at this point in time, in the eternity of lifetime, this maxim, this saying is very true. Nobody is going to change because you're asking them to change. They'll not change. What Path Prabhu, tell me, did you change because the Tao asked you to change, or you changed because you wanted to change? Tell me. Oh, you're very pious. You would have changed because your uncle told you to change. But what do you think?
Bro, I changed because yes, there was some motivation, but I changed because I decided to change.
That's good. You're admitting in front of him, you know, be careful. He's a great uncle, you know. Your uncle's uncle he is. He's the head of the family. He's watching you now. But that is correct. We all change because we want to change. You know, nobody can force us to change. We are all those days are gone where your father will tell you something, or your mother will tell you, or uncle will tell you, your brother will tell you, your friend will tell you. Still we do. It's not that we are not, but we should be able to accept it. That's the point, you know. So Bhagavad Gita is very difficult to understand. It is the song of God, the teachings of Krishna. See? Now, Krishna, can you put this second 18.69, please? Now, Krishna himself says this. I will show this verse on the screen now. Just increase the font, please. No, do use the other one. Next thing should not be use a Prabhupada IO. Anyway, open it for now. This one, 69. Okay. Okay, very nice. Thank you very much. Now, this particular verse is very important. So someone would like to read this verse, please? Who would be volunteering this?
Prabhu, I can.
Very nice. Please read.
न च तस्मान् मनुष्येषु कश्चिन्मे प्रियकृत्तमा भाविता न च मे तस्मात् अन्यः प्रियतरो भुवि.
Very nice. Let's immediately come to the translation now.
Translation. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear.
Okay. Now, what is this? What is the servant doing? That we will understand from the previous verse. Krishna, go to the previous verse of 68, please. Thank you. Just click the previous from this verse and you go. Now read this verse again, Pradhan Prabhu. 68. Now we are trying to understand who that person is, whom Krishna is saying. Yeah.
Ya idam paramam guyam madbhakteshvabhi dhashyati bhaktim mai param pritva mam evashyati ashamshaya.
Ashamshayah. Yeah, please read the translation now.
Translation. For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me.
Yes. So read this again one more time.
For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me.
Yes. So what is Krishna telling here? The supreme secret is about Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. So what is Krishna telling here? Just leave it, Krishna, just leave it. So keep the share, please. 68. Pradhan Prabhu, what is he saying? What is Krishna telling here?
So Krishna is telling that whoever explains this secret to the devotees, he gets that the devotional service is guaranteed by Krishna.
Yeah.
And
So
at the
this,
end of his life, he will come back to me.
yes. The supreme secret is about the Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Yeah. And then next verse, he says, what does he say? Krishna, let's go to the next verse now. 69. Read this again. Prabhuji.
There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear.
So there is nobody more dear to Krishna than this person who shares this secret to among his devotees. Go back to the previous verse, Krishna. Thank you. So what does it mean? Whom is Krishna telling you to preach to?
To the devotees.
What is the difference? Is he telling you to preach to everybody? To the masses? Yeah. Is he asking you to preach to the masses?
No problem.
Yeah. He's telling you to preach to whom? To his devotees only. So what does it mean? That meaning is given in the purport. Krishna, just go to, let's see the purport now, please. Okay, let us read the purport, please, now.
Generally, it is advised that Bhagavad Gita be discussed amongst the devotees only. For those who are not devotees will understand neither Krishna nor Bhagavad Gita.
Okay, read this again, but read properly with a comma, stopping and increasing again. There are two important statements here. Read again.
Generally, it is advised that Bhagavad Gita be discussed amongst the devotees only. For those who are not
So
devotees,
stop here. See, generally it is advised that Bhagavad Gita is be discussed amongst the devotees only. Stops here. For those who are not devotees will understand neither Krishna nor the Bhagavad Gita. You understand this? So emphasis should be there here. In the first line is answer given by Prabhupada. What Krishna is saying. So Bhagavad Gita should not be discussed amongst non-devotees. Only amongst devotees. Yes, now please continue reading now.
Those who do not accept Krishna as he is and Bhagavad Gita as it is should not try to explain Bhagavad Gita whimsically and become offenders.
It is an offense. Somebody who does not believe in Krishna and they are forcing it and they give offensive some words or thinking about Krishna, it's an offense to you as a preacher. Yes, please continue.
Bhagavad Gita should be explained to persons who are ready to accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Full stop. This is very important. Nothing else. When you accept Krishna as God, you teach Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, don't teach Bhagavad Gita. Please continue.
It is a subject matter for the devotees only and not for philosophical speculators.
See, anybody will say, Krishna may be like this, he may be like that, he did something like this to the gopis, Ram did something to Sita. All this confusion, don't talk about Bhagavad Gita to them. Don't give this sublime knowledge to them. Krishna is telling this. Prabhupada is explaining this point. When they are ready to accept, and when they accept Krishna as God, then you teach. That is why we teach Bhagavad Gita much later on. You see, we are studying, it's okay in between, but a systematic study is done when we accept Krishna as God without doubt. Only then we can say, Krishna says, Man mana bhava mad bhakto, become my devotee. Okay, yes, I'll become your devotee. Otherwise, we say, why do we become your devotee? Who are you? This is offensive. There is no value in this kind of thinking and preaching. You understand this? Please continue.
Anyone, however, who tries sincerely to present Bhagavad Gita as it is, will advance in devotional activities and reach the pure devotional state of life.
Yes.
As a result of such pure devotion, he is sure to go back home, back to Godhead.
Yes. Please continue. Krishna, let's go up now. Is this finished? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now close this. Thank you very much. So we got the answer here that Bhagavad Gita, by studying the Bhagavad Gita, you can stop the share. Thank you. By studying the Bhagavad Gita, you want to change the world. Is it right? Is it wrong? Answer is wrong. But it is right also by making them into devotees. And then we share Bhagavad Gita. So we have to do extra hard work here. You understand this? So that's why preachers who come directly to Bhagavad Gita, we don't do such things. You see, Srimad Bhagavatam also, people come to Bhagavatam immediately in preaching, especially the 10th canto of Krishna with the gopis and the Rasalila. That is not, it's very offensive. It's not that we should not do it. So you can do it, it's offensive to Krishna. Otherwise people will say, I don't believe in Krishna. What he is God is not God is offensive. Why do we want to do this to Krishna? He doesn't want to hear these things. Okay? So this is the point. This is the way Bhagavad Gita has to be studied and understood. And these are eternal instructions, you see. So that's why don't be eager to change the world, be eager to change yourself. Now, we should be eager. Now, our topic of discussion, as I said, was that because I prepared for this for Wednesday, our leaders program, it's easy for me to plug it in when other devotee could not give the class. So, we should be eager to learn topic about the opulences. You know, if we understand the opulences of Krishna, opulences means what? Aishwarya. So, if we want to study about the opulences of Krishna, then a devotee will learn from the opulences to change one's own life. Now, what is the topic of discussion topic today? Can anybody read, please, what I have given? What is the topic to be discussed today?
Learning art of living by understanding opulences of Krishna.
Yes. So by learning and understanding the opulences of Krishna, it is a real art of living for us. How is that? So, by all these opulences that we are going to study in the Bhagavad Gita as we progress, it has a direct effect on our own behavior in our own life. So betterment in our spiritual development. If we don't have these two connection, then we are not really understanding the opulences of Krishna. And if there is no self-change in the behavior, then our spiritual progress is hampered. So that's the reason why it is very important to keep this focus in mind. It is for me, not for others. Yeah, it's very important. Okay, very good. So now, because we stop learning, we will not deeply understand and follow these opulences of Krishna. We'll discuss only this one verse that we discussed last Wednesday, and we'll see how we can relate that in our life. See? So, by becoming the students of Bhagavad Gita, we have to somehow or other keep that focus of learning and don't worry about changing the world or others. They may change by our own behavior. And one of the most important things that Krishna tells Arjuna, when he also gave that knowledge to Arjuna, Krishna did not give the knowledge to Arjuna immediately. When Arjuna accepted Krishna as his guru, that's when he gave the knowledge. Till the time he was just speaking like a friend. Same thing in the Srimad Bhagavatam also, when Lord Brahma was answering the question of Narad Muni, when Narad Muni was his son, to say, my dear father, please tell me, you also meditate upon somebody. Although you are the creator of the whole universe, Jara Malakabad Vishwam, just like walnut, you are holding the whole universe in your hand, in your fist, But I see you are also meditating on somebody else. So who's that somebody? Can you please explain to me? For so many years you are meditating. So he said, because you are not envious of me, my son, and you are obedient to me, I will reveal to you. And Krishna said the same thing to Arjuna. Because you are not envious to me, I'll reveal to you. So this is a big qualification of Bhagavad Gita student for all of us. We should not be envious. We should learn from everybody. Devotee, non-devotee, human beings, non-human beings, everybody, not just our seniors. Of course, we learn from our seniors, no doubt about it. And those, if you're lucky, those seniors who are very, who are constantly interested in our development, that is correct. We learn from them. But we should have the mood to learn from all. What to learn from all? To change our life for better. Not that they teach any nonsense and we learn any nonsense. Not that way. But a student in us should not become a teacher in us. You understand this? We must keep the student in us alive. I'll tell you one thing, and one example I've given in the past also, but it is very relevant. Once Srila Prabhupada were in Europe somewhere, and there was an initiation ceremony going on, about to happen. And a small temple, it was not even a temple, it was a home, where it was crowded with a lot of people in. And Prabhupada he said to a disciple, come and start the fireplace. So fire was lit. And the disciple said, now come and cut and give us some fruits inside. Give bananas. So banana has to be given straight in the fire. But he cut the banana and he brought. So Prabhupada got very angry at him. He said, give me other fruit. He cut the fruit and brought, So Prabhupada was very upset. You were shouting and screaming, and there were people around, around. Whole crowd was full. So Prabhupada was fuming. What is this going on? You don't even know these basic things. You want to take initiation. What is this going on? Bam, 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 firing cylinders. So one hippie there, hardly a devotee. He was coming there, listening to this, half drugged also, you never know, intoxicated. He turned up and said, "Hey, Swami, why are you angry?" He said, "Why are you getting angry? You chant Hare Krishna and calm down." You know what Srila Prabhupada did? Srila heard him, took out his chanting beads and started to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. He calmed down. He is the one who taught the whole world to chant Hare Krishna and calm down. And he was taught, and even this, whoever hippie the person was, said, "Hey, Swami, he did it, So this is the point. Student in us, we should keep our student in us alive. Don't let the student in us become a teacher. It is very dangerous, I can tell you this. I've seen it even great. I've seen this quality in great Mahatmas, this point, to learn. I've seen it, and somehow or other, I work very hard to ensure I also become like a student, It's very hard for me. My God doesn't allow me to become a student, It allows me to speak only big lectures and all big bhashan I give. Now, this point, that if we are this eagerness to learn, this enviousness that we have should be gone, because this enviousness has detrimental effect in our body and our own consciousness. What happens is it doesn't allow us to associate with the right people. We will not like the association, you see, if we're envious of people. Then there is no question of learning from them. So, and the biggest thing is, the second thing is this, that other people know that you're envious. So they'll take advantage of you and of a relationship, whether it is material or spiritual. So don't be. What is harm in learning? What is harm in learning? If you become a student, you not become one grade down. Now, all this, what we're discussing, is connected to the words that we're going to discuss now. Okay, so these points are clear. Then let us come to this point now. Krishnas, can we have this this verse, please? 10.38. Thank you. Yes, yes. Thank you very much. Okay, who would like to volunteer, please, to read this verse? Oh, Krishnas, can you read, please?
Yep, Hare Krishna. Dando damayatam asmi, nitir asmi jigishatam, maunam chaivasmi guyanam, gnanam gnanabatamaham.
Again.
Dando damayatam asmi, nitir asmi jigishatam, maunam chaivasmi guyanam, gnanam gnanabatamaham.
Let's go to one-to-one synonyms. Thank you.
Dandaha, punishment. Westward synonyms translation. Prabhupada ki jai. Dandaha, punishment. Damayatam, of all separation.
Okay, now this is where this original is wrong. Okay, so this is the corrected version is correct here. Damayatam means not separation, it's suppression. Damyatam, damdena, means to suppress. Of all that is suppressed. Okay, damyatam, of all which are suppressed. Okay, please continue. Asmi.
Asmi, I am. Nitihi, morality. Asmi, I am. Jigishatam, of the victorious. Maunam, silence. Cha, and. Eva also. Asmi, I am. Guyanam, of secrets. Nanam, knowledge. Nanavatam, of the wise. Aham, I am. Punishment of all separation.
Of all separation.
Punishment of all suppression. I am, morality. I am of the victorious, silence, and also. I am of secrets, knowledge of the wise. I am.
Okay, let's go to translation now.
Translation. Among punishments, I am the rod of chastisement, and of those who seek victory, I am morality. Of secret things, I am silence, and of the wise, I am wisdom.
Okay. Now we want to read this translation 4 times. So first has been spoken. Who are the 3 who would like to volunteer to read this, please? Please quickly jump in.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Among punishments, I am the rod of chastisement, and of those who seek victory, I am morality. Of secret things, I am silence, and of the wise, I am wisdom.
Very nice. These are the opulences. Okay. Now 2 more times, please.
Among punishments, I am the rod of chastisement, and of those who seek victory, I am morality. Of secret things, I am silence, and of the wise, I am wisdom.
Very nice. The last time.
Among punishments, I am the rod of chastisement, and of those who seek victory, I am morality. Of secret things, I am silence, and of the wise, I am wisdom.
Very nice. Now I want somebody else to summarize how many opulences are mentioned by Krishna in this verse.
So who have sang the who have just read the translation cannot answer this question.
I want to give everybody a chance, so
Okay.
we'll wait for others for 10-15 seconds. If not, then you guys can do it. They lose the chance then, yeah? Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to be equal to everybody if they want to take the opportunity, you know? Yes, for those who have not read the translation out, it's your chance first to give us this answer. How many opulences are mentioned by Krishna in this verse?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Hari Bol, Mother.
I can see 4 here.
Just get loudly bit, Mother. A bit loudly, please.
Prabhuji, my system takes a little time to.
Now you're perfect. It gets warmed up a little low. Okay. All right. Okay, okay. Please, please.
So first is rod of chastisement.
Okay.
Second, morality.
Okay.
Third is silence.
Okay.
This wisdom.
Very nice. Very good. Okay, I'll give one more opportunity. Anybody else who has not read the translation would like to give their answer, please? How many different opulences are mentioned by Krishna here, please? Okay, let's move on. From leaders group, please. Anyone, please, from the leaders group?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. There are 4 opulences here. One is that first among punishments, it's a rod of chastisement, and the morality, and the silence among the secrets, and the wisdom for the wise.
Okay, very nice. Okay, let's come to the translation now. Okay, Patru, you have to read the translation, please.
Yes, sir.
You're very enthusiastic. It's very good. Let's read. Make you read the translation.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada.
Baba ki jai.
Among
Yeah?
Yep. Among punishments, I am the rod of chastisement, and of those who seek victory, I am morality. Of secret things, I am silence, and of the wise, I am wisdom.
Okay, wonderful. So far what we've discussed is that Bhagavad Gita is meant for devotees only. Okay, So you share the knowledge with devotees. We discuss why non-devotees should not be given, because they may unnecessarily commit offenses towards Krishna. Okay. Then we discuss that Bhagavad Gita is meant for our own changing. And if we do not apply that focus in our own self, then we will never understand Bhagavad Gita, because it is meant for us, not for others. We also discuss about how Bhagavad Gita, by our own behavior, we can preach to others. And it is a challenge to us that we make ordinary people into devotees and then share Bhagavad Gita with them. And then finally, we discuss this is the process we have in our Hare Krishna weekend programs. Okay? And we discuss how we can learn, that student in us should learn the opulences of Krishna and what we learn from opulences to change our own behavior and our own self. Now, for that, we did this translation. There are 4 different kinds of opulences of Krishna. Now we are trying to understand the purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Prabhupada. Please read now.
Hare Krishna. Purport. There are many suppressing agents, of which the most important are those that cut down the miscreants. When miscreants are punished, the rod of chastisement represents Krishna. Among those who are trying to be victorious in some field of activity, the most victorious element is morality. Among the confidential activities of hearing, thinking and meditating, silence is most important, because by silence, one can make progress very quickly. The wise man is he who can discriminate between matter and spirit, between God's superior and inferior natures. Such knowledge is Krishna himself.
Yes, wonderful. Okay, such knowledge is Krishna himself, the wise. Okay, the difference between inferior and superior objects. Parana para prakriti. Okay, now just remove this point, Krishna. Thank you very much for the screen. Now, what is Krishna's rod of chastisement? Krishna says, among all suppressing agents, among punishments, I am the rod of chastisement. So what is a rod? What is a rod? Can anybody tell me, please? What do you understand by this?
Hare Krishna, like on common sense term, it means maybe a baton. Like a
baton.
police, the police have a baton here.
Yeah, that's right. Baton. Beat them up on the backside. Parak, parak. We have baton in the school also. Class teacher has a baton as well. It's not allowed in the Western world. You can't say this in the Western world. They'll faint here if there is a capital punishment given here. Finished. When the parents can't do capital punishment. So I was to tease my son, So I'll take you to India. If I come by plane, we land in India, I'll give you a few slaps and bring you back next flight back. Just a joke, But anyway, now the thing is this: in the material world, the rod of punishment can take the form of a baton or criminal law or all these things. But Krishna is always in the mode of goodness. Krishna is not involved in punishing anybody. Actually, you could go to see, he's always dancing. He's interested only in dancing, in picnics, in parties, in enjoyment. Yeah, that's what Krishna is. And why does he does that? Because the devotees want it that way. Devotees don't want him to be fighting. Although even when he comes to fight as Lord Nrsingadev, devotees still worship him, as Nrsingadev. You see? So when Krishna punishes, he punishes also very hard. He makes his energies work for him. It is this energy which gives the rod of chastisement. But when it hits, when Krishna hits with his rod of chastisement, it is very painful, but you will not see it. There'll be no sound, but you will feel it. And only you will feel it. You see? That is called our own karmic process. When, due to our own karma, when we are given some, nice punishments, of our past misdeeds, we'll come to Krishna and say, Krishna, why are you doing this? Krishna say, why are you involving me in this? It's your karma. You are experiencing the happiness or distress part of it. Why are you involving me in this, man? Did you ask me before doing this? Good karma or bad karma? You did for yourself. Somebody said something, you became egoistic and you slapped that person. So now go to jail. Why are you telling me this point, If you had asked me before doing this, I would have told you. You see? So that's how Krishna's, when his rod of chastisement does not have any sound, you don't know when it's going to hit you. When it hits you so hard and you can't complain to anybody else. But take it very quietly, That is his way. That is his opulence. So what is he teaching us by this rod of chastisement of the karmic process? So that you should understand what should be our actions. What actions we should be performing, which will not give us this rod of chastisement, which will hit us so badly. So that he's teaching us in the Bhagavad Gita. What is karma? Every action has equal and opposite reaction, correct? So good action will give you good reaction. Bad action will give you bad reaction. No action will give you no reaction. But action has to be performed in this material world. You have to go out and do work, job. You have to get education. You have to fight your way through to enter into, a train or a bus. Fight your way through to everything. So one has to understand the nitty-gritties of things, how they work. And they're very difficult. It's not that easy. These are not that easy. The complexities of actions and reactions are not that easy. That's why if we fail to be the students of Bhagavad Gita, if we are becoming only teachers of Bhagavad Gita, then we'll miss this. We are living in a very dangerous path. Krishna says it in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna, can you please show this? 15.7. He says, see this, that Mama Vamsa Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, the very famous verse. So all living beings, let's come to the translation. Yeah. The living entities, just put it up still further up, please. Thank you. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. So he has given us the Bhagavad Gita to purify our own self. Otherwise, we're struggling in this material world. Not with five senses, but the sixth sense also, which is the mind. And we are his eternal fragmental parts. So when I said that, Mamai Vamsa Jiva Loke, if we are his fragmental parts, then he's our father. And because he's father, he's always very compassionate towards all living beings, as a father is towards the children. Yes, thank you, Krishna. Thank you. So this point has to be understood. He doesn't give out punishments to us. Our own actions are making us suffer the punishments or enjoy the positive. Good karma, bad karma, and no karma. We understand this point clearly, right? Now, how do we understand what actions, what inactions, what to say, what not to say, when to keep quiet, when not to keep quiet? Oh God, we are in such a mess, I tell you. We are in total mess, complete mess. And the funny thing is, we are blissfully unaware we are in the mess. So we lead our life saying anything, thinking anything, eating anything, dancing anything, sleeping anything. Earning anything, traveling anywhere, doing anything. Oh, how's life? Very good. Hey, let's do some time pass. We go and do some time pass. And then we eat something and we go, let's have coffee. And we have coffee. And let's have some beer. We have some beer. Let's have some chocolate. We have some chocolate. Or let's have some, eat something to eat. Pizza. Let's have something to eat. We are like this. Even to make our own coffee or tea or bread or pizza, the fire burns living beings. And we get reactions to that. We are blissfully unaware. When Krishna also was on earth, every day he would perform yajna. Because as a householder of 16,108 wives, and he had 16,108 palaces, each of the palaces would make separate prasadam for him. They would cook. So the fire would also kill living beings. So for their clearing of this karma, he would do yajnas every day. And we do the same thing by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. To clarify our own situation. Otherwise, we are also going to killing so many living beings. We stand, we play cricket or soccer, hockey, whatever we're playing, kabaddi or fighting, wrestling, whatever we do, we're going on the ground, man. And we are pouncing our 80 kilos, 90 kilos, 60 kilos on the grass. Now, what has that grass got done wrong to you or me? But we're jumping on it, sitting on it, such a nice grass, and we sit on it. The grass is which crumbled. You tell me, if we were a glass and somebody sits on us, so nice, it is, and sit down. And we are not even aware. And we'll pluck out the grasses when we're talking. We're doing some discussion, we remove the grass from the ground and discuss and put it in the mouth or throw it away and do nonsense activities. Just like we say, oh, so nice. These chicks are so nice. Baby chicks, so nice. We should be protecting it nicely. But inside we go and we eat chicken. And when we say, I love chicken, that doesn't mean you love chicken. That means you would love to eat them. Like a criminal, Rakshasas. I love rasgullas. I love to eat this. How? Such a, I tell you what. Now this is explained by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita 4.16. Krishna, can you please show this? So this rod of chastisement, to understand, we have to understand what actions are. And he knows us very well. We're sitting in our heart as Paramatma. He knows you very well, knows me very well. What rascals we are. Okay, who would like to volunteer to read this verse, please? Father who has raised his hands. Yes, please. 2 raised hands. Okay. Yes, please.
So who should go first? Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Who should go, Prabhu?
I don't know who raised the hand, so just start.
I'll sing. Yeah. Kim karma kim akarmeti kavyopi yatra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshyami yajñatva mokshase shubhat.
Okay, let's come to translation, please.
Translation. Even the intelligent are bewildered in determining what is action and what is inaction. Now I shall explain to you what action is, knowing which you shall be liberated from your sins.
From all sins. He has to explain this also, you see. Let's come to the 17 now. Next verse. Thank you. Yes, please read.
Karmano hyapi bodhavyam cha vikarmanah akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi.
Very nice. Let's come to word translation now.
Karmanaha, working order. He, certainly. Api, also. Bodhavyam, should be understood. Bodhavyam, to be understood. Cha, also. Vikarmanaha, forbidden work. Akarmanaha, inaction. Cha, also. Bodhavyam, should be understood. Gahana, very difficult. Karmanaha, working order. Gatihi, to enter into. Working order, certainly. Also, should be understood. To be understood also, forbidden work. Inaction also should be understood. Very difficult working order to enter into.
Yes, come to translation now. Thank you.
Translation. The intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is.
Again.
The intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is.
Yes, the translation, the purport now.
Purport. If one is serious about liberation from material bondage, one has to understand the distinctions between action, inaction, and unauthorized actions. One has to apply. Sorry?
Yes, please. Yeah.
One has to apply oneself to such an analysis of action, reaction, and perverted actions because it is a very difficult subject matter.
Now stop here. See, that's the reason why we have to teach Bhagavad Gita to people who accept Krishna as God, you see. Most of the time people are not interested in God or anything. They don't even worry about their actions or reactions. They eat whatever, they sleep whatever, they do whatever, they have sex wherever, whatever things they're doing, they think whatever they're doing, right? That's why Krishna says it's very difficult to understand. And to accept what he's saying, we have to accept his supremacy. He's the answer here. Then we can understand what action is, reaction is. Otherwise, if you go and tell any person sitting in their office chair, let us understand about Bhagavad Gita, action, reaction, he says, why are you bothering me? Let me have my wine or beer and biscuit after my work is done, you know. I'm too stressed, you see. So we have to bring them to the level of human being. And then we should teach them. That's why we say, you know, first we should make people human being. Human means humane. Humane means humble. If they are not humble, if we are not humble, not even a word of Bhagavad Gita will enter into our heart. Yes, now please read, continue reading.
To understand Krishna consciousness and action according to the modes, one has to learn one's relationship with the Supreme. That is, one who has learned perfectly knows that every living entity is the eternal servitor of the Lord and that consequently one has to act in Krishna consciousness. The entire Bhagavad Gita is directed towards this conclusion. Any other conclusions against this consciousness and its attendant reactions are vikarmas or prohibitive actions. To understand all this, one has to associate with authorities in Krishna consciousness and learn the secret from them. This is as good as learning from the Lord directly. Otherwise, even the most intelligent person will be bewildered.
That's the point. See, now, how did we understand this purport so nicely? Is it not so? Everything went inside our thing because we're becoming serious now. What action is, inactions are, you know. Otherwise, we don't even think what we are doing. We say whatever we want to say, right? Very nice. Now, let us come to the translation what we're studying, Krishna. That's the 10:30 here again, please. 10:38. Among punishments, I am the rod of chastisement. First, second, and of those who seek victory are morality. Second point about morality. Now, just go to the purport, Krishna. Thank you. Now, here, Krishna is saying that among those who are trying to be victorious in some field or the other, in some field of activity, the most victorious element is morality. Now, we have been taught, okay, you can switch off now. Thank you. We have been taught, the share can go. Thank you. We have been taught that victory at any cost is good. Everything is fair in love, war, and politics, they say, right? So lie. Lie to your parents, Lie to your friends, lie to everybody. Everything. Now, who said this? Some rascal said this, who's drinking drunkard. Everything is fair in love, war, and politics. That's right. Did Krishna say this here? What he says, for any victory, morality is important. Now, morality is a two-way sword. What does morality means? What does morality means? Come on, do a Google search now, which you're expert at. Search out, what does morality mean? Don't show off by trying to think. You guys don't think anymore. Your chat GPT will also give you an answer immediately.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
So Google is saying principles concerning the distinction between right and wrong or good and bad behavior.
Yeah, morality. Okay. What is the moral of the story? Means heart of the matter. To victory at any cost is not good enough. Okay. So morality is something. If you don't understand it, then this concept of victory at any cost to get will also bind you to suffer or enjoy. And we are in the business of neither suffering to come back to suffer in this material world, neither we want to come back to enjoy in this material world. So, but how do we deal with this? Out of victory, should we lose? No, we can't lose. Now, if you go to see, somebody may say, but even Krishna was not moral in Mahabharata. Krishna also, he broke rules in Mahabharata, correct? He did. What rule did he break? We just hear people who are drunks, who don't have any knowledge, or anti-Krishna, they give out all this, dish out all these things.
He broke his promise for you.
What is the promise he broke?
That he won't fight in the war.
He won't fight. That's right. He broke that promise. He did not fight. But he still removed this chakra. Why did he do that? He did that to tell. Because his devotee had said, we will see how we will not fight. If you are pure Kshatriya, you will fight with me. To validify his devotee's words, he took out. He said, okay, I'm happy to be called a cheat. Immoral. Breaking of the vow, but I'll do it. That's right. She's got reasons, right? Yeah, what else did he say?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu,
Yeah.
one instance is when he hit the.
Where did you go? You are here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So sunset was like sunset happens and the war stops, right? So he covered the sun, asked the sun to lower, and then people thought that okay, the war is over, and they came out, and then he instructed the sun to rise up again.
Yes.
And then, so yeah, this is also one thing that people say.
Okay, very nice. Thank you. Now, Krishnas, can you share this 18 point, the words 18.78, please? Thank you. It'll be a new one for you. Thank you. Okay, who would like to read this verse? This is the last verse of the Bhagavad Gita. This is now, and just close it. Thank you. I want to show everybody. So, Bhagavad Gita, where does it teach morality? Where does it teach morality in Bhagavad Gita? Only in this verse. The last verse. Let us read. Who would like to read, please? Any volunteers? Yes, Prabhu, please read.
Yatra Yogeshwaraha Krishno Yatra Partho Dhanudhara Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir Dhruvaniti Matir Mama.
Very nice. Let's go to translation.
Translation. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion.
This is the last verse of the Bhagavad Gita spoken by whom? Sanjaya. So the Bhagavad Gita starts with the first verse with Dhritarashtra asking, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. The first word is Dharma in Bhagavad Gita. See? And the last verse is here, where Sanjaya is saying that wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be what? Opulence, which we're discussing, 10th chapter. Victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. So here, after seeing these instructions, Sanjaya has made a forecast to Dhritarashtra. So this is my opinion. So he gave the opinion before the battle Kurukshetra finished. He already said, Dhritarashtra, my master, you're going to be finished. Your children are going to die. So in that comes morality. He said, if there is Krishna, you'll find morality here. So let's read the translation, purport now. Where is the morality? That question is answered in the purport. So we have to be very mindful about our sincerity to understand the purpose. If you are student enough, this answer is hiding in the purport. It is not readily given. Still, where is the morality in the Bhagavad Gita? You read anywhere, you cannot understand the morality in Bhagavad Gita. But you'll understand if you understand from the teachings, if you are a student of the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, you understand this. Let us come. Please read the translation, the purport now. Thank you.
The Bhagavad Gita began with an inquiry of Dhritarashtra. He was hopeful of the victory of his sons. Assisted by great warriors like Bhishma, Drona, and Karna, he was hopeful that the victory would be on his side. But after describing the scene in the battlefield, Sanjay told the king, "You are thinking of victory, but my opinion is that where Krishna and Arjuna are present, there will be all good fortune." He directly confirmed that Dhritarashtra could not expect victory for his side. Victory was certain for the side of Arjuna because Krishna was there. Krishna's acceptance of the post of charioteer for Arjuna was an exhibition of another opulence. Krishna is full of all opulences, and renunciation is one of them. There are many instances of such renunciation, for Krishna is also the master of renunciation. The fight was actually between Duryodhana and Yudhishthir. Arjuna was fighting on behalf of his elder brother, Yudhishthir. Because Krishna and Arjuna were on the side of Yudhishthir, Yudhishthir's victory was certain. The battle was to decide who would rule the world, and Sanjay predicted that the power would be transferred to Yudhishthir. It is also predicted here that Yudhishthir, after gaining victory in this battle, would flourish more and more because he was not only righteous and pious, but he was a strict moralist. He never spoke a lie during his life.
See, his first lesson of morality came here. Just Yudhishthir, who did not speak a lie in this life. Yeah, let's go. Continue.
There are many less intelligent persons who take Bhagavad Gita to be a discussion of topics between two friends in a battlefield. But such a book cannot be scripture. Some may protest that Krishna incited Arjuna to fight, which is immoral. But the reality of the situation is clearly stated. Bhagavad Gita.
Non-devotees will say this. Krishna incited. He's immoral. You see, I heard it also from people who are non-devotees who claim themselves to be very big spiritualists. They say this. You know? Yes, continue. But the reality, but the real situation.
But the reality of the situation is clearly stated. Bhagavad Gita is the supreme instruction in morality. The supreme instruction of morality is stated in the 9th chapter, in the 34th verse. Manmana bhavo madbhakta. One must become a devotee of Krishna, and the essence of all religion is to surrender unto Krishna, as stated, Sarva Dharman.
This is morality instructions in the Bhagavad Gita. You understand? 934. And what is that? Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. We read that afterwards. And Saradharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. That is morality. So unless one is a devotee, he will not understand the moral instructions of the Bhagavad Gita, which was discussed in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. That is the reason why it is very important to make devotees and then introduce Krishna's private messages. Bhagavad Gita is a very confidential message. Yes, please, sorry. Please continue. The instructions.
The instructions of Bhagavad Gita constitute the supreme process of religion and of morality. All other processes may be purifying and may lead to this process. But the last instruction of the Gita is the last word in all morality and religion. Surrender unto Krishna. This is the verdict of the 18th chapter.
That is a verse, 18. Yeah, please continue.
From Bhagavad Gita, we can understand that to realize oneself by philosophical speculation and by meditation is one process. But to fully surrender unto Krishna is the highest perfection. This is the essence of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita.
Read again. From the Bhagavad Gita, we can understand.
From Bhagavad Gita, we can understand that to realize oneself by philosophical speculation and by meditation is one process. But to fully surrender unto Krishna is the highest perfection.
Here is the point. Surrender to Krishna is the highest point. Speculation and meditation is not surrender to Krishna. It's not bhakti. The bhakti yoga is morality. That is the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. It's a hidden message of Bhagavad Gita. Everything else is open. It's extra-loaded messages. But the heart of Bhagavad Gita is this devotional service to Krishna. Yes, this is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita, of the teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. Yes, please continue.
This is the essence of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. The path of regulative principles according to the orders of social life and according to different courses of religion may be a confidential path of knowledge in as far as the rituals of religions are confidential. But one is still involved with meditation and cultivation of knowledge. Surrender unto Krishna in devotional service in full Krishna consciousness is the most confidential instruction and is the essence of the 18th chapter.
Yes. Is it done? Krishna is done? Yes, please. We just last. Yeah.
Another feature of Bhagavad Gita is that the actual truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Absolute truth is realized in three features: impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Perfect knowledge of the absolute truth means perfect knowledge of Krishna. If one understands Krishna, then all the departments of knowledge are part and parcel of that understanding. Krishna is transcendental, for he is always situated in his eternal internal potency. The living entities are manifested and are divided into two classes: eternally conditioned and eternally liberated. Such living entities are innumerable and they are considered fundamental parts of Krishna. Material energy is manifested into 24 divisions. The creation is effected by eternal time and it is created and dissolved by external energy. This manifestation of the cosmic world repeatedly becomes visible and invisible. In Bhagavad Gita, 5 principal subject matters have been discussed: the Supreme Personality of Godhead, material nature, the living entities, eternal time, and all kinds of activities. All of these are dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. All conceptions of the Absolute Truth, namely impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, or any other transcendental conception, exist within the category of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although superficially, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the living entity, material nature, and time appear to be different. Nothing is different from the Supreme, but the Supreme is always different from everything. Lord Chaitanya's philosophy is that of inconceivably one and different. This system of philosophy constitutes perfect knowledge of the Absolute Truth. The living entity in its original position is pure spirit. He is just like an atomic particle of the Supreme Spirit. The conditioned living entity, however, is the marginal energy of the Lord. He tends to be in contact with both the material energy and the spiritual energy. In other words, the living entity is situated between the two energies of the Lord, and because he belongs to the superior energy of the Lord, he has a particle of independence. By proper use of that independence, he comes under the direct order of Krishna. Thus, he attains his normal condition in the pleasure-giving potency.
It's done now? Yeah.
Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to the 18th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of its conclusions, the perfection of renunciation.
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So this is the point where we understanding the morality, what has been taught is devotional service to Krishna. Whatever Krishna does is perfect. If we try to bring our morality, we may be, it is a two-way sword. What is moral for you may be moral for somebody else. Not necessarily, but happens many times. So it happens with this also. Not always. Truth is always truth, black and white. People don't see it that way. That's why our obligation is to Krishna, to nobody else. What Krishna says, I will do. You do it, you're free. Okay? Yes, Prabhuji, you have a question. Partha, you raise your hand. You had something to say. Partha.
Yes, Prabhuji, you just gave an answer to that just in the last, but my question was on the lines of that we are discussing about morality, Prabhu, and as you said, it can be a double-edged sword. Like morality in this world is binary, but like there are some things that are immoral and then moral. But I was just asking, isn't what Krishna does trans-moral, or like it transcends morality in a way because he's absolute? So whatever he does, we have read this in our classes as well, that whatever actions Krishna take, we cannot, like even pure devotees, they are on the transcendental platform. So the actions cannot be moral or immoral because they're acting on the absolute platform, and anything on the absolute cannot be binary. So, and if we follow the instructions of Krishna, who is absolute, which means his instructions are also absolute, then we are also transcendental to the binary trap of morality.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
That's what you said in the end. So this got the answer to that.
Okay. Okay. Very nice. So now come back to that original translation, Krishna, please. 1038. So far we discussed about the rod of punishment. Second, we discussed about morality. Now third, Krishna is saying that of secret things I am silence. Okay. And the fourth is of wise I am wisdom. So let's discuss about of secret things I am silence. Thank you, Krishna. How many of us know somebody who you go and tell that person, you know something, I'll tell you something, but you must not tell this to anybody. And the person gets, oh my God. And you go and tell him or her in the ear, this is what happens. And the person gets, oh my God, I must tell somebody, my stomach is paining now. And they hold somebody and they go out and vomit at this other person. I tell you what, they reveal the secret, so now I'm feeling all right. Now I can sleep better, eat better. Have you found somebody like this in your life? Have you seen somebody like this? No? You've not seen? Oh, then you're very unfortunate. You must have somebody like this in your life. You meet somebody, go and tell them, something like this. And they say, oh my God, they move around. They don't know what to do. They can't keep secret. You see? And that is the reason why those are the best people whom people use and say, if you want to spread news, go and tell somebody, come here. I'll tell you something which you don't tell to anybody, okay? It's top secret. Yes. And you go and tell the person, and the whole world will know. That is not Krishna. You see, what I'm trying to say is that if we follow Krishna, then nobody will take advantage of you. But if you follow your own senses, but you can't keep secrets, if you can't remain silent, then the world will use you. So if you want to be used by the world, it's up to you. Now, what is this silence? I'm always very intrigued by this. I've made some points, You see, the deliberate silence is the most golden trait to purify your existence. Now, what it means? It means that deliberate silence, by choice, we remain silent. It is the most golden trait, opulence, or what you call it. Krishna's opulence it is. Of all secrets, I'm silent. This silence, and Prabhupada explains in the purport, Prabhupada says for our own meditation, spiritual development, silence is very important. If we are able to live with our own self, we can practice silence. But if we cannot live with our own self, it's very difficult to practice silence. There are many Moni Babas and Moni people, many times Westerners, foreigners, they come to India and they make them silent. For 1 week, don't talk. Keep quiet. Give me $1,000. They make you stay in one small hut, with wooden bench, sleep on it. They give them some khicharis, and that's it. Keep quiet. You want to say something, write down and speak. And they, after 1 week, they go and they write down and they come back and say, "Oh man, I felt so good. I did not speak for 1 week." Now you tell me one thing. When you were small children, would your parents tell you, "Don't speak, keep quiet, sit down"? Yeah, have you heard this? Parents saying this? Keep quiet. Your teacher would say, "Fingers on your lips." They used to teach us like this. Put finger in your lips. Means keep quiet. And children are keep quiet. And again start to talk, They can't not talk. So same thing. When we are adults, for us to keep quiet, the best way is take money from them as fees and say, "Now you keep quiet." Then they'll keep quiet because money is gone, no? Like once Guru Maharaj was giving a class, they say, "What is this, man? This complete nonsense. These people are doing meditation and all that, You just keep quiet in the room." And, and Maharaj says, "This girl, she teaches meditation. What she does is that you make everybody sit down here, keep quiet." And for half an hour, and then go. And people are keeping quiet, paying money also for it. And they feel it's very good, man. I felt very nice. If you want to talk and talk and talk and talk, sometimes it's needed to talk, See, but but there is value in keeping quiet also, no? In my Gujarati language, it's a very difficult process for me, to be honest too. In my Gujarati language, there is a saying which says, "No bolya na no gun, par bole tina bor vechai." Means no bolya na no gun. Means if you keep quiet, there are 9 benefits of it. If you keep it silent, if you keep quiet. But at the same time, if you speak, then you'll be able to sell what you're going to sell, for doing business. Otherwise, you cannot keep quiet and sell something, Say something. Yeah, yes, please buy. And you keep quiet. Nobody's going to buy. If you just say buy, nobody's going to buy. You have to sell. You have to dance. You have to show them some music. And then bring people in and then sell it. That's what we do. We cook everything, make bhoga, bring people in. We sing and dance Krishna's names, and then give them food, and then they go and they're quiet for half an hour. But they're yapping all the time. This is the point. The silence is golden. You see. Now, Prabhupada, Krishna, just see that. Can you please show the purport again? Prabhupada writes very nicely about the silence in 2-3 lines, 1038, please. What is the purport of that silence? Okay, Prabhupada says here that among the confidential activities of hearing, thinking, and meditating, silence is most important, because by silence, one can make progress very quickly. Yeah. So hearing, thinking, meditating. Yes, thank you, Krishna. Silence is very important. So when we may study the same verse, okay, one verse we study, and all of us have different realizations on it, depending upon our own intelligence, our own maturity. Yeah. And it's good enough. There's nothing wrong with it. All very nice. But at the same time, those with deeper understanding may see things in a different way, different perspective. So the student in us, one of the traits of a student is a good listener. I can tell you, the biggest and the most successful leaders are good listeners, So the same verse which we discuss, and if it is as mature, some people may be more mature than others. So we learn from the maturity and we share that maturity. This is parampara. So remember that silence has got its own value, intrinsic value. And try and remain silent with yourself. Remember Krishna in your heart, When we're chanting, we're silent. Try not to talk if you can, if you're chanting, Just chant. When you're finishing your rounds, just say, please, not now. I want to be with Krishna alone, Chanting with Krishna. When you're studying Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, just remain there with Krishna, Be with him for that time. As we mature enough, when the society will reject us as we are old, nobody will want to do anything with us. When our knowledge, our advice that we are giving, people don't want that advice when we are old. When people will not listen to us. When we become socially unacceptable. Especially for men. For women, they still fit in, in the society, somewhat they fit in. They can cook something, they're benefiting. Men generally, if they don't cook and all, they become a liability, at the old age. Or they're coughing all the time. Then one side, demanding food and tea and coffee and all that. So at that time, the silence becomes very important for us. If we have practiced our youth, if we have given our youth to this silence in being with Krishna, then the old age will not come to bite you. I'm telling you, this is very important. Right now, you don't understand if you are young, but the older people you go, society completely rejects it. And I am completely amazed at it. Because I believe that those who are 50 plus, 55, around that time plus that, they are in the best position to do business or do a job. Not a physical job, but thinking, advising. But for us, at that age, we must retire. Full stop. Because by the age you're 50, 55, you gain so much experience there, and you'll not make those mistakes again. But how much time are you going to dedicate yourself to do future activities there? So start from now, give your youth to Krishna. Maharaj always says this, give your youth to Krishna, your young age to Krishna. So what happens is that Krishna will give you in your senses more time to be engaged. Otherwise, at the older age, your mind will not even focus on one thing, Body pain, neglect has got mental pain, so many things going on to older people. So if you have any older person who's mature, please, the Vedic way means you treasure them with gold. They have got tremendous wisdom. Any old person, And you, if you are a good student, if you are a good listener, Sri Krishna's opulences on this, you will learn from them and you will not make the same mistake. This is the value of silence, you see. For older people and for younger also. Otherwise, young people don't even think about anybody for the world. This is, we're living in a very obnoxious place, you know. So this of secret things, I'm silent. So if anybody, if you cannot keep a secret of people, you will not be given secrets. But if you can keep secret, then everybody's secret will be with you. You will know everyone's secret. But the thing is this, you will not take advantage of the person or those people. They know this. That's why they give you secret. And this is the biggest, your value, your personal worth, you can measure by the amount of secrets people will share with you. See, it's very important. It's very nice. So the person who is able to implement, so the same verse we study, but our mature devotees will give us mature understanding of it. You see, why do they give mature understanding? Because as we discussed, they've got experience. So what does experience mean? Means they have implemented it, their experience. And that comes to our fourth point, they become wise. So Krishna says, I'm the wise among wisdom. So wisdom meaning what? Knowledge meaning what? Information is one thing, is information for you. Knowledge is what you can implement. And wisdom is where you have implemented. And based upon what the knowledge you implemented, you can take correct decisions. That's called a wise man or a wise woman. Then people will come to you to ask you, what is it? Can you please help me with this? So the scriptures, especially the Bhagavad Gita, we have to implement in our lives, practice it ourselves. When we implement in our lives, practice ourselves, remaining silent, associating with the right devotees, learning from them, then we become wise. So when we are faced with material problems, we may get the ability to solve it by spiritual means. Otherwise, you will solve the material problems materially, which will create another problem, material problem. Unless you solve that material problem spiritually, it will keep repeating again and again. That is wisdom, and that is Krishna. Okay. So ultimately, it is all up to us. If we bring our false ego, we cannot understand the opulences of Krishna. So this is only one verse we're discussing, 10:38, and the whole chapter, 10th chapter, is opulence of the absolute. Krishna speaks so many opulences, and we can learn so many things to better our life. And that is the reason why the discussion today that we have is this, that how by implementing, getting the knowledge of the opulences of Krishna, we can live better, by calling it that learning the art of living by understanding the opulences of Krishna. Okay, so what this now we'll quickly summarize what we discussed. We discussed by understanding that Bhagavad Gita is not to be taught to anybody, it's taught to ourselves. We understood that don't be eager to change the world, be eager to change yourself. It's a continuous process. There's time we have this material body. We discussed that we are a preaching movement, so we make devotees, and after making them devotees, when they're convinced, then talk about Bhagavad Gita, teach them Bhagavad Gita. You may talk about Bhagavad Gita, that's fine, but teaching comes later on. Then we discussed that importance of remaining student. Don't become teachers. If we can, it is best not to become teachers so much. Of course, we are preaching, so we have to teach, no doubt about it. But internally, we are students, and we can learn from everybody. If we know the right mood, we can learn from everybody. Mood is very important to understand. Once we understand the mood, we can implement anywhere. Then we discussed about the this particular word, about the why the Bhagavad Gita has to be discussed with devotees. Krishna is saying that. We saw that verses, and Krishna says those who follow this are most dear to me, and there's nobody more dear than this person. Krishna gives us that. Prabhupada explains this point. You should not be preaching to non-devotees. Then we discussed about this verse 1038. You know, we spoke about the four opulences, where we discussed only four opulences. What are the four opulences, please? Please, anyone, please.
Road of chastisement, Prabhuji.
Give only one. Thank you.
And
Somebody else. The second
morality.
one, please. Somebody. Morality. Okay. Somebody else. Give me the other two, please.
Silence.
Silence, wisdom,
Silence and
wisdom.
wisdom. Four things, right? So we discussed this. We discussed about, in understanding what is a rod of punishment, we understood that Krishna is not interested in punishing anybody. He's only compassion. We are our own self, or because of our own karma, we suffer and we enjoy. And we understood that Krishna also teaches us that how difficult it is to understand what is action, inaction. Yeah, we have to understand it thoroughly as a student of Bhagavad Gita. Then we discuss of morality. We discuss how Krishna can be perceived as immoral, but he is perfectly moral. And that is the reason why from Bhagavad Gita to understand morality, only a devotee can understand. His morality is what? Man mana bhava mad bhakta madhyaji mam namaskuru. That verse. Become devotee of Krishna, worship me, give surrender everything to me. That is morality. Devotional service is morality of Krishna. And that a non-devotee will not understand. Yeah. We understood morality from the last verse of the Bhagavad Gita, 1878. Yeah. And the hidden meaning of it. Then we discuss of wisdom. We discussed silence, the importance of silence, and how silence and being student is interrelated, these two things. Yeah. We discussed then with our silence and with our student attitude, how we can become wise. When we study the same Bhagavad Gita, the same words can be discussed in different points of view. All are correct views. But there may be some who are a bit more mature, they give us a different understanding. And that is called parampara. You see? The decimation of knowledge, giving knowledge from higher authorities onward, down, is parampara. Yeah. And how older people, even if they may be failed in their lives, they will be complete failure in their lives, they have something still to teach you. How they failed, what they failed for. So that you can, a smart person will learn from others' mistakes and don't commit those mistakes. So the life is up to us how we lead as a student or as a teacher. It's all up to us. That's what I understood from this verse. Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Hare Krishna. Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Okay, anyone has any questions to ask, please feel free. Yes, Suchimata, please ask. Don't wait for me. Please ask the question. Thank you.
Prabhu, my question is when to understand the person is in the humane platform or in the platform of speaking or conversing about Bhagavad Gita or maybe teaching about Bhagavad Gita. When to understand the person is in the platform of becoming humane, more humane.
You're talking about to teach somebody Bhagavad Gita or to learn from him?
Both ways.
No, then you become a student of Bhagavad Gita. Then you'll understand. How long are we going to remain a non-devotee? Yes, we feel we are non-devotee. Yeah, that is correct. We must feel we are non-devotees. But how long are we going to remain neophytes like this? So that's why we teach everybody, why don't you learn the same way, you know? So if you study like this discussion, and then your training that you've been getting from your leader, you know, and from these programs, and you implement it, you understand yourself. You see? So it's a great risk many of us take when we are circumventing Krishna's orders directly, you know, because our acharyas are doing it, so we follow it, you know. But it should not be done prematurely. It's always done under authority. Preaching is always done under authority, you know. That's why we say, don't go jump, just take step by step, you know. That's all the reasons why.
One more query is
Yeah.
there. Ki I've found out ki in most of the condition, what happens is I am following this, but I'm feeling that I'm not doing it so perfectly, is in that way that my life is not changing. You see, I have the knowledge, but the implementation of this knowledge is like I have knowledge 10, but my implementation is on 3 or 4. So, and I really want to, because Bhagavad Gita and teaching of Bhagavad Gita is for my own self and then for others, or pointing out to others. But for me, I have personally found that, again, this knowledge more, but implementation small. It is making a lot of discrepancy when I
Yes.
really think of like.
Yes. So what is the question?
So how can I pull down that 5 to at least to 8 or 9 or to 10?
How can you implement the teachings of Bhagavad Gita?
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
whatever you are in the beginner, so you are
whatever,
not
yeah.
whatever is teaching you. So why don't you implement it? Why do you want somebody else to implement for you? What answer do you want to give you? I can give you big answers, you know, giving you so many verses of Bhagavatam and all that, you know. There are bogus words to just purify, to just show my knowledge, you know, and you'll feel very good about it. Oh, Prabhuji is so knowledgeable. He gave me such nice information from so many Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Ultimately, what does it boils down to? You tell me. What does it boil down to?
Implementation of the process.
And who is supposed to implement it?
Me, myself.
That's, am I going to implement you for you? Can I implement for you? I just do it. Whatever we discussed today on silence, learn from it, do it, you know. That's how it is. That's exactly what the way is, mother. I've seen over the years so many devotees, they give the same answers. Same question is asked by devotees after so many years of practice. How do I do this? And they give the same. But I find that giving big knowledge is not the answer. One has to implement it themselves, you know. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I hope I answered the question. I know she disappeared.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you so much.
Did you not like the answer? So you disappeared, so I didn't understand.
No, Prabhu, perfectly fine. Thank you so much.
Okay, Hare Krishna. All right. Anybody else have any questions, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Haribol.
I have a small realization to share. Can I? May I?
Oh, very good. Small relation. Wonderful. We want to hear that.
So, when you were speaking on this, you said one line there that material devotees, they don't want to do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do, and that is the entire conception around the material way of life. So recently, I was talking to a colleague, and they said that isn't that the best life? What there is nothing to lose. You can do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do, and due to your teachings and Avinash Prabhu's teaching, I'm able to think critically in these situations when people say this, that what is wrong? It is so fun. And due to Srila Prabhupada's teaching, already reading his book. So I told them, but there is one thing to lose. And they asked that what is there to lose? If I'm doing whatever I want, whenever I want. I told them that the thing to lose is if you do things in a disciplined way, the results you get, that is there to lose. If you do things in a disciplined way and not whatever you want whenever you want, there are some results to it, right? But if you do things whatever you want whenever you want, there might be no results to it. So why doing this thing, you are losing the results of a disciplined life. Like when people say why to go to gym or why to be healthy, why to walk or why to exercise, we can just lay on the couch, be couch potatoes, eat, drink, watch movies, and they say what is there to lose? Man, the lifestyle of a healthy person is what you're losing on. They don't realize this. So I just told them that and they could not answer, or they just were like, okay. So just wanted to share that too.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. All the best. All the best. Okay, anybody else has any questions or realizations, please? We'll wait for 10 more seconds.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Haribol.
Thank you for sharing your realization of opulences, Prabhu. You are right. Understanding Krishna's opulences are beyond my capacity, actually. So
beyond mine too.
No problem. So actually, I sometimes quote these realizations in our next day class. We have a class on Wednesday evening, then Thursday, same night, Thursday morning, we have a class with them. So I said, oh, yesterday we studied this verse, and yeah. So they got some hint of it, that what happens in our Wednesday class, that how we study Bhagavad Gita. And the other thing, Prabhu, you very nicely covered about silence. When you're silent, means you are thinking, and thinking is very critical. Thinking is not for everyone. So that's not. And the other thing, a devotee, if he speaks, but when he speaks about Krishna, that is also silence. That's also we discussed, Prabhu, the other day.
Yes.
So he speaks, but he doesn't speak nonsense. He speaks about Krishna or his devotees, and that is also silence. So speaking is silence in that sense.
Yeah.
That I want to share.
Restricting to Krishna, to answer the topics is silence, basically. Yes, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, can I ask just one last question I have?
Yes, please feel free.
So we read about the rod of chastisement, and I've heard people like say that this when we talk to them. They say that the scriptures are to be like the scriptures, devotees, they point out to devotees and they say that the devotees always find some esoteric meaning or some metaphoric meaning to what is intended. So if Krishna is saying the rod of chastisement, why don't you, I just giving an analogy. They don't say for this only, they say for a lot of things. Why don't you just take it verbatim? Like that just means rod of chastisement. Why do you have to find an esoteric meaning? Why do you have to have a metaphor for it, that this means karmic reaction, this means that? Isn't that speculation, they say? So because it's not written there, right? You're just thinking what Krishna might be saying. The answer to that that I think of, and then you may correct me, is that this knowledge, as we have read, Prabhupada says, that comes in disciplic succession, and we must approach a spiritual master to understand the mood of Krishna. That is what I think. But if you may add to this or correct this, Prabhu.
I mean, that is correct. This question can be asked by people who are not devotees, But if you understand, if you try and study, even a fool like me can understand. Mamai Vamso Jiva, that's why I gave that words reference. Mamai Vamso Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. That if he is, all living beings are my part and parcel, fragmental part and parcel. So he is the father of all living beings. So his punishment is also that of father punishing the child for the betterment of the child. So rod of punishment is for betterment of the child. You understand this? He is not for punishing in the sense that now you are dying, you die. But he does, sometimes he does that also for the betterment of the child, you see? Right? But at the same time, as a father, he is not interested in dealing with all these negative parts also. He is actually in the material world as Paramatma, super soul. But he doesn't, he's there, not there. Prabhupada writes in the last chapter, That's in the Bheda Bhed Tattva. He's there, not there. He is actually in the spiritual world. I put a post somewhere today, in which of the group? Yeah, today only I sent a post. That Krishna tends cows in Gokul. That's what he does. It's a very deep meaning. You may hear it, oh, Krishna, what's that? We know about this. Krishna, what, finish, go home and go to sleep. Second thing is, but deeper meaning, what is the meaning of this? He is a cowherd boy. His business is to tend cows in Gokul. That's what he does. Full stop. That means he's in the material world also as Paramatma. What is he doing there? Does he like to be there? He doesn't like to be there. But for him, there's nothing. Everything is him only. But everything is not him. We understand this point? So technically speaking, we can say this, that yes, it's an esoteric meaning. But it's not an esoteric meaning too, because he's not involved in this. He doesn't need to be involved in this. As Paramatma, he is always and always witnessed things. He is not awarding somebody punishment. It is done by his agency. And who's the person who gives a life, who gives a punishment after death?
Yamraj.
So you give the answer. You can give the answer to them. Is it Krishna? No. But Yamaraj is appointed by Krishna. That's right. Do you understand this point? So this is where the wisdom one has to use as one studies. Just like somebody like this doctor, we can use the example. Now some mother is becoming a doctor, for example. So she will understand something from here, implement it here, and tomorrow when some other situation comes, she may think, oh, if this has happened, we can do this way also. Let's try and connect it, Similarly with us, we can connect things. So scriptures have to be lived like this. So if Yamraj is going to give punishment, so who's the rod of chastisement? Krishna's, yes, ultimately everything is Krishna's, but he does it through his energies. He doesn't need to come. Right? This is the point to be understood. He doesn't come, he doesn't need to come. Although he comes in different ways and forms. And at Krishna consciousness meaning we have to become conscious of his coming in different forms, like in opulences. He's present in the opulence, is his form. His name is his form. One of the opulence he says, I'm the strength of the strong. That is his opulence. I'm sex life, which is not against the dharmic way. Is opulence. It's also his opulence. Can you imagine this? Yeah. Yeah, I'm the cheatest cheat, greatest cheat, He is that opulence, his opulence. You cannot cheat him, he'll cheat you. So what can you say esoteric meaning in this? This is a fact. You cannot cheat him, he'll cheat you. Yeah. So this is the way where Krishna says himself that I'm all living beings are my part and parcel. Then he says also that I'm not interested. He's not interested in the material world. He doesn't want to create the material world. He does it for ourselves. And all this that we are going through, this life, this tribulation, life after life, finishes in no second. Once you go back to Godhead, you're back there in no second. Over there, no time has passed. And you're back in your original spirit form, the original form which you were in, back there, dancing with him or being with him or cooking for him, whatever you want to do, or fighting with him there, not as enemy, but as a friend. You see, there's no esoteric meaning in this way. Otherwise, Lord of Chastisement, he doesn't need to come and Lord of Chastisement. They are thinking he should come like this and beat them up. Why would he come to beat you, man? Tell me one thing. We'll take an example which is they will be able to understand. If they're working in an organization, and if they do something wrong in the organization, and they have to be removed from the organization. So we say, since the time the CEO has come, he's become very strict. Any person who does not follow it, he makes sure that he leaves the job. He's kicked out of the job, correct? Does it mean that a supervisor who's at your level does something wrong, the CEO will come to his office, come here, pick you up, slap him and kick him out of the job? Tell me, does it mean this way? What has he done? CEO has done, this is my rule, put in writing. Anybody does like this should be removed. If it sets a rule, then his managers have to implement the rules. So manager implement the rules. But the rule is done by whom? CEO. Now the CEO wants to remove the student, the CEO wants to remove all the staff. No, he wants to just to make sure that you work well, man. I don't want you to go to remove from the job. But if you do it, then you will be going out. So CEO is not doing something wrong. He's doing things correctly. He did not pick up this guy particular to kick him out. He wanted to kick him out himself. That is karma. Same way Krishna is the same way. He set up karma process. You do wrong, you suffer, do the time. That's the point. You got the answer on this already?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the answer. Very simple. People are complicated, so they make complicated things. We keep it simple, All right. Anybody else want to say anything? Any questions or realizations?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank
Yes,
you
Hare
for your very nice realization, Prabhuji. I think there's so many things that I learned. And one of the point that you raised regarding the old people, people who are frail, means even the old successful people, I think I see a lot of people go and seek their advice. But even failed people, that is something new to me, There's still something to learn, which is very nice. And I remember Srila Prabhupada said, I think this is my first class I ever given. I think when you told me, and while preparing, I came to this Srila Prabhupada's quote. The Srila Prabhupada mentioned that experience comes from making mistakes, and wisdom comes from a lot of experience. So you should respect the old people, always. So it was, and yes, Prabhuji, and even in the organization, so many corporates, they actually drive this policy that we are only interested in hiring young and energetic people. And they try to get rid of all the old. They're just looking for excuse. And I see actually even my organization, they got rid of so many old people who've been working there for 30 plus years. Actually, they himself, they're like a brand, but they look at their pay package and they remove them, and new people come in without less experience, and they make so many mistakes that cost the business much more than what could they save. So even in the materialistic term, I think people think very short, and even the realization wise as well, Prabhuji, as because I was preparing for today's class for interpretation, and I was reading the matter here and there, and realized that some of the unauthentic sources, the realization is similar point is, I thought, it's so immature, and actually people read that, they're completely misguided. And you read the same Srila Prabhupada's purport, Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, is so maybe few points are similar, but the way that is presented is everything comes back to the Krishna, the devotional service of Krishna. And that was I was thinking. That's why in our program as well, Avinash Prabhu said, everybody's angle, everybody, the way they give the realization, that I always feel that I never thought from that angle, I wouldn't have known if I had not in this program. So that is the actually credit to, the Hare Krishna WECAN, Prabhuji, that all the different forums we have. And so I'm actually, I'm very grateful, Prabhuji, we get this opportunity to listen from you as well. Because you normally don't speak that much in our leaders program, but we hear, whenever we get an opportunity. And even the actually maturity point, Prabhuji, you said that because depending on the level of a maturity, they can give their maybe advanced realization. I was thinking that, but actually Bhagavad Gita, you read now, maybe I read the same verse maybe 10 years back, I have different realization. And Krishna says that reveal according to one's own level of surrender. So maturity is nothing but that person surrender. So
yes, absolutely correct.
Yeah, so maybe it's Krishna's, it's Krishna's mercy we are actually receiving through that person. So it's a lot to learn, because even initially when I started studying this verse, I thought, such a small purport, and I say, what can I share the realization? But when you meditate, Krishna reveals a lot of things. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Very well, very nice. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, we'll wait for 10 more seconds. Okay, Hare Krishna. Very nice. So we'll conclude today's discussion then. I think we've taken the time where people have shared their realizations. So there is no others. I would have asked for one point which we learned, but that it's all done now. I think all come together, Wonderful. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, so whose turn is it to sing today? Maharaj, please hear us. Is it my turn? No? Whose turn is it? Looks like it's my turn.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Sorry. Yes, Subhadra and Madhav, they're not available. I think
They're not
their
available, they're
mom.
sleeping.
No,
Here is,
their mom.
My turn, Prabhuji.
I can see you now, Madhavji. Hare Krishna ji. You guys had a good time? Did you sleep at night or not on Friday? All of you slept or not slept?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Navina ji. Did you all slept or not? Did you not sleep? Did you obey my advice or not?
Which advice?
I told you not to sleep. I told you to spend the whole night doing masti in the night. Did you do that, all three of you?
Madhav went to sleep, but me and Subi were just just in the bed and we were just chit-chatting.
Chit-chatting. Very good. Chit-chatting. Wonderful, wonderful. All the best to you. Sometimes you must not sleep also, That's also good for health. All right. Don't listen to me. It's all wrong advice. Hare Krishna. You must sleep at night. Sleep early. Early to bed, early to rise is the best way to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. Hare Krishna. Okay, where's Madhav now? Madhav's gone. Madhavji?
Where's Madhav?
I think they are in the car, Prabhuji. I think going
they're in
to
the car.
doctor. Yeah.
Oh, you're going to doctor?
So we had a little, I think it's, she fell down late before, not very serious, but
okay.
Yes.
Okay, Madhavji, you ready now, Madhavji? Yes? Madhav, you ready? Hare Krishna. I think they can't. They're traveling, probably.
Do you want to say? Okay, I'll stop it.
Do you concentrate on driving, Madhavji? That's okay. You can do it?
Yes.
Okay, well, start now. 1, 2, 3, start.
Maharaj, please hear us. Maharaj, please hear us. We have learned some real good stuff. Maharaj, we have learned one thing. Maharaj, we have learned one thing. And today for you we will sing. And today for you we will sing. If our room is clean, if our room is clean, then our mind is clean. Then our mind is clean. If our mind is clean, if our mind is clean, we can do anything. We can do anything. If our room is dirty, if our room is dirty, then so are we. Then so are we. And if we are dirty, and if we are dirty, we're not happy. We're not happy. Wasting time. Wasting time is the greatest crime. Is the greatest crime. Because wasted time. Because wasted time means a wasted mind. Means a wasted mind. The best is your time. The best is your time. When you're in your prime. When you're in your prime. And your whole life. And your whole life will be sublime. Will be sublime. If your wealth is gone. If your wealth is gone. Then there's nothing wrong. Then there is nothing wrong. But if your health is gone. If your health is gone. That's a different song. And that's a different song. If your characters dies, then the world will cry. The world will cry. Only saintly behavior. That humanity thrives. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You must always remember Krishna. You must always remember Krishna. And never forget him too. And never forget him too. But having to practice, there's so many things to do. But how are we to practice this with so many things to do? That is the greatest question. That is the greatest question. And here is the greatest clue. And here is the greatest clue. You must learn to walk so nicely that Krishna remembers you. You must learn to walk so nicely that Krishna remembers you. If something sees tomorrow, something due tomorrow. Finish it today. Finish it today. Whatever seems to today. Do it now. Don't delay. Do it now. Don't delay. Friends might be lazy. Your friends might be lazy. Or doing bad things. But you think again. Don't follow them. Don't follow them. And you'll win the end. And you will win the end. Whatever work we're given. Whatever work we are given. We do our very best. We only live with what we and give Krishna the rest. We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest. This is how we live. We learn then to play. You learn to live this way. See Krishna every day. This is how to live, to work and to play. You learn to live this way, you will see Krishna every day. And when the time is up, it's for us above. You sing and dance with a heart full of love. And when our time is up, he'll take us above. We'll sing and dance with him with a heart full of love. So chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame. Is the only way this world will ever become sad. So chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame. Is the only way this world can ever become sad. Now please ask this greatest question. Now please ask this greatest question. And find this greatest clue. And find this greatest clue. You can only remember Krishna. You can only remember Krishna. And Krishna remembers you. If Krishna remembers you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Holiness Srila Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Namo Vishnu Pada Krishna Vastava Bhutale Srimati Mahavishnu Goswami Namine. Namo Vishnu Pada Krishna Vastava Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine. Namo Saraswati Devi Gaurmani Prasayana Nivisheshu Nari Prasayana Sarine. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Krishna willing, we will see you next week, same place, same time. Till then, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. And remember, it's Purushottam Mass. So try and intensify your chanting as much as you can. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Hare Ram. Hare Krishna.